our esteemed pleasure at BlankTV to welcome HR from Bad.
You know, I speak Frank, speak Nietzsche. Greetings in the name of His Imperial Majesty and Grace Celestia, King of Kings and Lord of Lords, conquering line in the tribe of Judah, Yehuda, Judah Josephi. And I also would like to thank you. It would be an honor and a privilege to do this interview with you, Joel, and Brian, and his brethren, of course, naturally. And everything is going just great. And hi kids out there in TV land, we gotta do some more of the interview before we were so rudely interrupted. That guy is just so boring. He talks about everything, and then I just... But I'm gonna fill in for you now the rest of the story. Like I was saying, the group was performing. I'd met Daryl, and there we were on Addison Road, and Daryl and Gary switched up guitars, and Daryl started playing the bass, and Gary started playing guitar. So we came in and went to New York and met Anthony, and was discovered by Anthony and some friends at Raw, Reach Out International Records last year, as a matter of fact. And it's just now that we were basically getting our music off, because all the other music was undeclared music, darling. You have to understand. I don't want to be boring to you. Am I boring to you?
No, we're listening.
Certainly I'm not boring to you.
Certainly.
Are you excited at our shows?
Very much.
We would love to play soul, reggae, hip-hop, groove music. It's a new sensation. It's phenomenal music. Outstanding. We want to play more reggae, but we do like to excite the people a little bit. You know what I mean. We all live in the Yellow Submarine, but and every season has a reason, every reason has a season. And then, of course, I did recently go through a transfiguration myself. And leaving Baltimore, going into D.C. was a bit entertaining too for me. Coming out of Serbia, we did a tour. We were in Serbia, and we played the No Exit tour. Over 100,000 kids showed up. My goodness, can you believe that, boys and girls? 100,000 people went to see the brides. And then we played in Italy, and then yesterday we were in Anaheim at the House of Blues. It was packed, sure. I didn't get a chance to see Angelo though. But hi, Angela, I miss you. You know what? Hi, I miss you. Daddy love you. Don't worry about it. And Kurt Baker, darling, don't worry about anything. I'm yours. It's quite all right. But I do want to say one thing. I don't know who that baseball player is, but somebody better say something to him, because my head is not a baseball, all right?
Are you talking about Roger Clemens?
Whatever his name is. But please, go on.
Well, I'd like to ask you a question. In my troublemaking days, I think it was in 85 or 86 when Against I came out, we were running around in Boston with this cassette, and everyone was going, this song, Sacred Love. Mm-hmm. This guy sang this song. He sang the lyrics over the phone while he was incarcerated, and it became legend, myth, real or not real. And can you please just tell us the story about that, if you may?
Certainly, it was a mere informality. I wasn't actually incarcerated. What was the Holy Youth Center from Occoquan, and some of the boys were getting together, and they were preparing me for the this position. They knew that I was in Champion, and they released all forms of brutality, but they wanted me to go through an equivalency program test to make sure that I understood privileges that were administrated unto me. And being, of course, an offspring of the Supreme Value, I then began to question some of my superior officers, and I asked them for permission to do some more recording in the studio. They said, well, brother, do you realize what you just been through? And I said, oh, please, come on, man, give me a break. And so I talked to Anthony on the phone, and we did a little bit of screwdriving work there, and Ron, thank goodness, saint, bless my soul, bless everybody. So came through, and he said, okay, well, HR, I think what we can do Francis, you call me at a certain time on the phone and I'll play the music over the phone and you can sing. Well, I could barely hear the music, but it was in my heart to sing that song. And I fell in love with this young girl. We were so in love. Well, forgive me for a moment, sir.
Sure.
I got a phone call there.
Sure.
Yeah, man. Rastafari, bless up. What you saying now, my man? Yeah, man, me just cool all the while. Me here doing an interview with some next youths from Boston, you know? Rastafari, bless up. So y'all come through? Alright. Bring me a strawberry smoothie, no, man. Yeah, man. Okay, as you were saying. So
Well, I think you were coming down at the tail end of the behind the scenes of the Sacred Love recording.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I had met a friend's fan, and he introduced me to the lifestyle of a superstar that might be impatiently abusing himself. And I sat down and talked with them at the equivalency board meeting, and they asked me, they said, well, do you understand what you're doing, young man? And I said, well, my goodness, all I wanted to do was just make a little money. And they said, that's not cool. I said, well, I want to be cool. I want to obey the golden rule. Please tell me what to do. And they said, we understand, but you have to be patient. You've got to be perfect. You're the perfect one. Don't you know that? I said, I'm perfect. I said, okay, I'll be perfect.
Someone's at the door.
Come in.
That's your strawberry smoothie already?
No. Hi, darling. To make a long story short, I improved. I came of age. I understood Franz Fanon. I just completed my series of the Andrew Carnegie Think and Grow Rich.
Is that where PMA started?
Yes, it was in the Laws of Success. The theory, a young man by the name of Ross Michaels had started a theory of the Rastafarian culture. And in that theory, he had to have formulated a thesis. And once the thesis was formulated, he then had to go into a theological explanation. And after his theological explanation, he then had to submit to the proper authorities whether or not it was an actual law. So there were a whole bunch of dudes going around with dreadlocks, but to our prevail, the seven seals were opened. And it did create within us a firm desire to want to become one family, and that's what counts the most. So we'll rise above the other stuff, whether it's man-made or God-made or government-made or whatever, homemade. We're not going to worry about it. And here we are today.
Something for the younger people who watch your channel. With the kids with the mohawks and everything. But
oh my goodness, mohawks!
Punk rock,
mohawks,
the style.
Ooh. Can you imagine a dread with mohawk? What was I thinking? Do you want to see the original picture? I brought pictures. Would you like to see
I'd love to.
Okay, let me go get a picture.
1977. Look at these guys.
And here we are in 2010, and who would ever believe we'd still be alive?
Exactly. But what's going on now? You're in the studio now working on new material. Who are you working with? We can expect
well, I
something
went
new?
to church, and in that time period that we were soul searching on a spiritual retreat, I didn't know what to do, whether I was being a bother to the group. There were so many questions going through my mind, even to this day, whether I was pushing people around. Should I continue on being a musician, or should I just go ahead and get involved with politics like, Mr. Obama did? Say, yes we can, and yes we did, and yes you are, and yes I am, and I am what I am. Brothers and sisters, we are here today to bestow unto our people a nation that can blossom, a nation that will improve, a nation of nations in the graduation party coming up ahead. Come on, out of there and get you. Okay, here we go. Well, I had went to the White House and the Equal Minds March. Some of the brothers there in response to the Sisters March, and so we brothers came together in harmony. We weren't exactly exalting our homosexuality.
Which has been a topic.
Which has been a topic.
Yeah. But along that lines, maybe, for some of the younger people watching, sure, you may have been a bit overzealous in your assertions of Rastafarianism in the early days. Some people claimed that Bad Brains were homophobic. But that's been laid to rest, I believe. And you commented that people, it could be someone who's a Muslim or someone who's a Krishna. So when they in the beginnings, when they're young, they may have been a little hasty in some of the way they've approached it. Do you want to just touch on that topic at all?
Well, certainly. I had been led and raised by a Muslim brother, but his father was a Christian. Elijah Muhammad believed in himself, and he had watched this child of his blossom. But the child was sent to him by a dignitary whom wanted to be the president. Well, he's the president now, and the disciplinary raised the child. The child was me. So I graduated from USC about 10 days or 12 and a half years old, and went to the hospital and had several operations and enlarged certain parts of my body and on and on and on. And to make a long story short, I took control of the situation, and I just put down my big-headed self and say ole ole.
Is there any message? Well, back to punk or punk rock. It's a movement, and it's always changing. But do you have any kind of perspective? What is your perspective on it? You're responsible for punk in a sense.
Yes. Well, whether or not the band's homophobic, or whether I'm a homophobic, or even a homo. It's a homo. Oh, no, what am I gonna do? Oh, no. Joking. I'm gonna play you a song and let the music speak for itself.
An HR exclusive on BlankTV, August 21st, 2010.
Okay. This one's called We Belong Together. We belong together forever. I'm so glad to be yours. Hey there, baby. Did it ever enter your mind that it's a good sign? And every time we get together, it reminds us of sweet September. That's a good sign, and it's a good sign. We belong together forever. I'm so glad to be yours. We belong together forever. I'm so glad to be yours. to be yours. We belong together forever. I'm so glad you are mine.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Yes,
It spoke for itself.
Ladies and gentlemen, at his request, Joe's request, I'm going to now give you a big shout out. Big shout out from BlankTV. This is HR with dangerous music for dangerous people, which is not how I truly think of us as being. But nevertheless, we're going to ask him to explain that later, and I'm quite certain he will have something to say too to add to this section. So you be good boys and girls, quote unquote, from the Most High, Rastafari.
Thanks.
Okay.
Right on. Thanks.